Hello, this video is going to show you how to change the fuel lines on a Ryobi 766R weed eater, weed trimmer, whichever one you want to call it. These things are ancient, so I don't expect anybody to ever watch this, but just in case there's another cheapskate like me out there, I'm going to try to explain how to do it. I hope I make it clear enough for you. So first thing I'm going to do is roll the trimmer on its side. We're going to come around and then take a good close look here. As you can see, I got to get in here with my hand. This is the return to tank line. It goes more towards the center line of the tank than the supply line. This one here, the clear tubing, is the supply line. It comes as a complete assembly with the hose already pressed onto the barbed end. Very hard to get out, very hard to put in. That white collar, you get a new one of those if you buy your replacement parts through ereplacement.com, which is what I did, because they have the right size fuel filter on the end of it and everything. But you're going to fight changing this fuel line a lot. You might even have to make a tool to come in through the gas cap and try to help press it through. But moving on, the next item we're looking at is the primer pump. It comes as an assembly. I've got an old one here I'll show you, and it snaps into place. Roll this up, drop down to here. Okay, as you can see, the supply line goes straight through to the bottom hole in this plate. Okay, now down there is the inlet to the carburetor. So the fuel supply line, the clear tubing, goes from the fuel tank right to the bottom of the carburetor. There again, it's a hard press fit. Maybe try to warming the hose up in hot water or something to make it easier, but you'll have to figure it out. Okay, now coming back up, that's what they call the top of the carburetor, and you can see the amber yellow colored fuel hose coming out of it. Well, it goes to the upper hole of the case and comes around to the primer pump. Okay, now here's the old primer pump. As you can see, the fittings are two different heights. The longer one takes the return line, the blue line. The shorter one comes from the top of the carburetor through that hole in the plate to the primer pump. I'm going to suggest you change out the primer pump too. You want to change all that stuff at one time, that way it all wears out together. But as you can see here, I hope, see the two little tongs, that's where the primer pump assembly snaps in. This one is missing the bulb because naturally the fuel destroys them. Very smart of Ryobi and all those other guys. But you're going to have to fight like hell to get that, especially the supply line, into the tank. I went down to Home Depot and they sell a kit that has this wire with a, let's see if I can get it on there, wire with a hook. You can still see the fuel line attached to it. And I'd pick one up. That's what helped me get the fuel line through the tank. But I think it even comes with a primer pump, but it might just be the plastic piece. So I would order all the items: primer pump assembly, fuel line and filter, and return line through ereplacementparts.com. Spend the extra $7 to get this little tool to help pull the fuel line through, and should come out pretty easy for you. Here's that little white piece. There's nothing special about it. It's got a little bit of a chamfer on one side. I use that to push up against the bottom of the fuel tank, and the flat side would be facing down. But why they built it like that, I couldn't tell you, but that should be everything. And good luck.